Today, I intend to go from Fortnite player to the #1 ranked player on Empulse, the movement shooter created by 1047 Games. You see, I lived through peak Fortnite. I lived through chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of it. And throughout my life, I've been clinging on to that hope that eventually Fortnite will return to the chapter 2 peak. And while now, yes, it is still a good game, nothing is gonna reignite my passion that I had like chapter 2, but maybe Empulse can. Empulse is refreshing. It's a high-speed movement shooter with a ton of new guns that I like to play around with. So hopefully throughout this journey, Empulse will reignite the spark that once had me playing up to 3 a.m. Now before we get into it, make sure to like and subscribe, as if this video reaches 10 likes, we will do a part 2. So with that being said, let's get into the first match. So real quick, to even get into ranked in Empulse, you need to play a certain number of games to get a certain number of XP. So all the games in today's episode are actually going to be casual games, but in the next episode I do actually get ranked, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, let's get into the first game. So I kicked the game off by using my grapple twice just to get some mobility, and I spotted an enemy. I took fire and immediately eliminated him. First kill of the game. I then headed over to this jump pad, launched off of it, and then used my grapple to head towards some more enemies before getting another quick kill. After that was done, I grappled around a wall and killed an AFK enemy, securing my third kill of the game. I felt like I was going on a hot streak, and then I got flanked from behind. I managed to use my grapple and speed paint to get around him and break his ankles. Or so I thought, because he eventually took me down. This time, I respawned with a vengeance, immediately climbing and looking for a kill. And not long later, I smelled blood. I used the jump pad and quickly headed over to the choke point, eliminating my 4th enemy of the game. You can tell throughout these games how much better my mobility and aim is getting. I actually managed to use my grapple to escape this narrow death, before wall running around this building and getting a nice kill. Even in a fast-paced game like Empulse, it's nice to get a quick break. But that break didn't last for long, as I got yet another kill. I was on fire this game. For the next 8 or so seconds, I was kind of just moving around until my spidey senses tingled and I realized there was someone behind me. I launched at them and immediately held down that trigger and got yet another kill. Not to brag or anything, but I did manage to get 2 good kills. Can we cut that out? So yeah, that life taught me to not chase easy things or I'd get folded like a MacBook Air. But then I chased the easy thing and did not get folded by a MacBook Air. So did I really learn anything? Absolutely not. One thing I'll say about this game is it really brings out the inner Warzone player in me. Like, I'm constantly thirsting for kills. Like, I had 2 completely fine teammates who could have just killed him right there, but I literally swooped in and stole their kill. I'm so sorry to whoever that was. I then actually pulled off this pretty nice trick and was starting to get the hang of movement a bit more. And now I realized movement could give me even more kills. Just like this. Shoot, wait, who put this in here? So yeah, maybe movement isn't always the way to go, especially for this guy who I sniped off the wall. The next 16 or so seconds was basically just nothingness and grappling around until I got this nice grapple into a kill. So yeah, maybe I need to improve my aim just a bit. Well, maybe more than a bit. But for this kill here, it didn't matter that much because it was just an assist. And then there was another 15 or so seconds of nothingness until I got this nice quick kill off. There was then another 15 or so seconds of nothingness into a death. And then, guess what? Another death until I eventually got, after 42 seconds, another kill. So yeah, once we were nearing towards the end of this game, it was starting to look a bit rough. I was missing shots I shouldn't have and dying unnecessarily. But then towards the end of the game, I managed to lock in just a bit and get 2 more kills. And yeah, I ended up winning my first casual game. So yeah, that was a pretty stacked first game. It taught me a lot about the mechanics and the weapons and how this overall game feels. But going into my second game, I took all of this into account, equipping a different weapon and going onto a different map. The good news was I was flying around the map with my grapple. The bad news, I was getting smoked. These players were a lot more skilled than I had anticipated. On my third life, I decided to start it by grappling really high up and looking for anyone that I could. Unfortunately though, it took me a while to find someone, and when I did, I tried to turn around to get them, but then I somehow picked up this object. Yeah, I did not know that there was more modes besides team deathmatch. So yeah, new mode unlocked, I guess. This mode is basically where you have to hold on to this object and deliver it to a certain area without getting killed. But you see, I wasn't the greatest at this mode at the time, so basically this match consisted of a bunch of whip shots and deaths. This wasn't my most proud match. So here's a compilation of all of my fails during my second match in Empulse. So I have a couple takeaways from my first couple days on Empulse. The movement feels everlasting. Like with certain perks, I feel like I'm just moving and gliding around the map forever. I feel like I stay in the air longer than I do on the ground, and I feel like that's because the movement is modeled after Titanfall, one of my favorite games ever. The TTK, or time to kill, isn't too overwhelming. It's not too short where you're getting obliterated in half a second, but it's not too long where it feels like you're spending way too long trying to kill someone. It's balanced perfectly. The same cannot be said for the mechs though. The mechs are my least favorite part about this game and are why I actually fully skipped out on showing the mechs in my gameplay. There is a fully dedicated mode for mechs, but the thing is, it's baked into the main quick play and ranked modes, so you can't pick what game modes you want to play. I did genuinely plan to have a third gameplay ready for today's video, but the thing was, my third match was a match of all mechs, which is a special mode where all players are mechs, but it's baked into the main quick play playlist. That has genuinely pissed me off so much, but for the most part, I absolutely love this game and think it has a bright future. So I'm gonna give y'all one last reminder. If this video gets to 10 likes, I will post a day 2, and make sure to subscribe, because if we get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2026, that'll be awesome. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye.